How do you tell when a company's well run or one isn't? Let's look at the automotive industry. A lot of the companies in this industry have been around for 100 years. The worst run company in the industry is Ford Motor Company, probably the most famous company in the United States. What's happened? Well, the first thing is that the Ford family has run it, and they haven't done a very good job.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now today we're delving into the ongoing labor negotiations in the automotive industry, particularly the United Auto Workers talks. Wages have taken center stage in these discussions, with both the union and automakers presenting their proposals. One of the most contentious issues is the UAW's initial request for a substantial 40% pay increase. Automakers in response have offered around half of the percentage for the life of the next contract. Let's get into this video first.
For a while, GM's Arlington assembly plant hasn't been impacted by the auto worker strike until now. Well, GM made a new offer to the UAW offering higher wages and a fast track to the highest bracket. 34,000 workers are walking the picket line, including those at parts distribution plants in Roanoke and Carrollton. UAW President Shawn Fain says despite making progress with GM, Ford, and Stellantis, the union won't stop until it receives a more generous offer. GM's new offer would raise pay to more than $40 an hour by the end of that 4-year contract. That works out to about $84,000 a year. The company would also reinstate costs of living raises for employees in the first year of a contract, something it had stopped doing about 16 years ago.
16 years ago. I mean, wow. So we're just breaking down the story presented to you by CNBC.com you're seeing here on your screen. Now, the UAW justifies this wage request by pointing to the notable increase in CEO compensation over the past 4 years. And this dramatic rise, coupled with the surge in inflation, has driven the demand for fair and equitable wage increase for the auto workers. So what are the UAW members currently earning? As of August, the top hourly production wage for a UAW member is $32 an hour. When you factor in benefits and bonuses, the estimated hourly labor costs for the workers at the Detroit's 3 automakers are approximately $66 per hour this year. Now, to provide context, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports the average hourly rate for all production and non-supervisory auto workers in the United States stands at $27.99 per hour. It's essential to note that hourly labor costs at non-union plants, such as those operated by Tesla and foreign transplants, are notably lower, ranging from $45 to $55 per hour. Many auto workers do not earn the top pay rate of $32 an hour, especially temporary or supplemental workers. Companies like Stellantis are proposing to raise the starting wage for supplemental workers to $20 an hour, acknowledging their need to fill gaps created by the absenteeism. It's worth noting that many supplemental workers currently earn around $17 an hour. The UAW aims to eliminate the tiered system in which some workers experience lower starting pay and different benefits than their counterparts. The goal is to create a more equitable pay structure and to reduce the time it takes for workers to reach top wages, potentially from 8 years down to 4. Additionally, the union wants supplemental workers to transition to permanent status more swiftly. Now, in terms of CEO compensation, figures like $20 million for GM's Mary Barra, you're seeing on the screen here, $21 million for Ford's Jim Farley, and $24.8 million for Stellantis have raised the eyebrow. However, the highest payout last year didn't go to any of these individuals. That distinction belongs to Mike Manley, the former head of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, who pocketed a staggering $54.1 million. President Shawn Fain of the UAW is anticipated to have a compensation package on par with his predecessor Ray Curry. Curry's base compensation in 2022 was reported at slightly over $219,000, with a total compensation including bonuses and benefits reaching $267,000, according to the 2022 LM2 financial disclosure. As the UAW negotiations continue, It's evident that wages and compensation are central to the discussions, and these negotiations hold significant implications not only for automakers but also for the broader automotive industry. I hope you stay tuned for more coverage as this unfolds itself. And as we mentioned Jim Farley earlier, we're now moving on to Ford, where it is reported that Ford reshuffles top management as the UAW strike drags on. As you're seeing on your screen here from Reuters article, Ford Motors announced a management rejig that's reorganizing and promoting combustion vehicle unit chief Kumar Galhotra to the position of chief operating officer, even as the ongoing auto worker strikes shows little signs of ending. Galhotra, who previously headed the Ford Blue unit that makes gas and hybrid vehicles, will now lead the automaker's global industrial system. Andrew Frick, who previously managed Ford Blue's sales and distribution functions, trucks, SUVs, and enthusiast vehicles, and operations in Mexico and Canada, will succeed Galhotra at the unit. The article goes on to say that these moves will drive clarity and simplicity across Ford so we can significantly ramp up our capabilities and combine them with businesses that are focused on the needs of different customers, Ford's chief executive Jim Farley said. And he's always in the news. But before we go, let's give you our final thoughts with this video.
How do you tell when a company's well run or one isn't? Let's look at the automotive industry. A lot of the companies in this industry have been around for 100 years. The worst run company in the industry is Ford Motor Company, probably the most famous company in the United States. What's happened? Well, the first thing is that the Ford family has run it, and they haven't done a very good job. They should have turned it over to professional management. The second thing is, right now, Ford cannot figure out how much it costs to build a car. Because of supply chain problems, they're constantly changing the prices on their cars, and that makes people pissed off. So when you look at a company like Ford, you have to ask whether the management is competent. Can they run a car company? If they can't run a car company, why do they still have their jobs? So when you think about a really poorly run company, think about Ford.
And that's one of the biggest problems in today's automakers, auto manufacturers, dealership management situation right now in the automotive world. Too much nepotism. And the people who can actually run the business are no longer in the industry. They're doing their own thing because they're just tired and fed up of basically what is going on overall. Let me know your thoughts below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It'll only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.